Hey there, brothers and sisters. Vessel of Truth here, Jay from Virginia for the new people. And just wanted to make a quick video. Was just kind of enjoying myself, reading in the book of Jubilees. And, the book of Jubilees it's a fascinating book to me. Um, and I just got to reading, chapter 11, chapter 12. Well, basically 10, 11, 12. Last ones I have been reading, but was thinking about, when it come to the point of the birth of Abram and how Abram noticed the error of mankind, how they had departed from the ways that the Father had laid down for us to go by. And he started praying, to our Creator. And then right after this, you read about him shooing away the ravens that were destroying all the crops at that time and, causing famine on the land. And not only was he able to shoo the ravens away, he was able to invent a plow, that would be used, for the seeds that would hide the seed in the ground to where the birds couldn't come and eat the seeds off of the earth. And they no longer had to fear the ravens because Mastema, who was over all of the demons or the demonic spirits, the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim, the giants, he was, using the ravens, to torment mankind. And it's just a story that really shows how, desperate the enemy, for one, is to torment us and to make our lives hard. But on the other hand, when you truly have a right spirit and a right heart in you, there's something in you that drives you to want to walk in obedience to the Father. It even says, in the book of Jubilees that, Abram separated himself from his father so that he wouldn't keep the idol worship and the sin. It's amazing to me that, the Father will allow us, to follow the truth when we recognize evil. But, in today's day and age, we have to separate ourselves from that which is going on in the world. And that's few and far between. Most people, just diving headlong into the things of the world. They want everything that the world has to offer and then some. And it's a shame because, the things of the Father are far, far sweeter and greater than anything that the world has to offer. And it's just one of the things that, kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, because I kind of just stepped back and have been analyzing things that I have watched go on in my own life, for one, but in the lives of other people and, things that's been going on in the community and even the world. Mastema, is one of the powers and principalities that are at work in the area of, Ukraine and Russia to this day. And it's just something that I think that we should really pay attention to, because each area has certain sin that seems to be like a fog over the land. And if we, the children of Yahuah, could come together, even if we're not in person, but yet come together spiritually in unity and pray against these powers and these principalities, we could make a difference, and get our brothers and sisters free from addiction, or the spirit of suicide, or sickness and disease, or the spirit of infirmity itself, whatever it is in your area. I mean, it's not hard to see what the enemy is mainly using in your area to come against mankind, whether they're children of Yahuah or not. you know That's one thing the enemy is not prejudiced about. He hates all of us the same. He wants every single one of us, whether you're a believer or you're not a believer. He wants us all dead and to be in condemnation just like he is. Because he believes that the more of us he can draw away, the more he can hurt the Father. Because, I really, really believe, that the enemy knows that he don't have a chance at defeating the person that created him. I mean, that's just lunacy to think that a created being could kill or overcome that which created it. It's just sad. And what's even more sad than that is that this enemy can convince some of mankind to believe that he could be powerful enough and strong enough to defeat the Creator. And it's just, there's no chance of that happening. At the word of the Father, everything was created, and at the word of the Father, everything can end. And that's basically what we see. He says it's finished, and everything that needs to die at that time dies, and then the judgment. Of course, you have the other theatrics, the fire coming down and engulfing everything, but either way, everything's going to die that needs to die. And just a simple story such as that, it speaks volumes whenever you really look at it through the eyes of the Father. I mean, this is one of the patriarchs. It's Abram right now, but he becomes Abraham. And, from there, we know Moses comes along, and, these are just ordinary men and women like us, because you can't forget Rahab. Rahab was a prostitute, but yet saved the spies and lied. And what did she get for lying? The Father allowed her to be part of the lineage of Christ. When one of the things that, people don't understand, when the only time that breaking one of the Torah commandments is ever acceptable is when it saves lives. She basically lied. Just like the women that were the bearers of the children in the days of Moses. They lied about, children being saved in the bulrushes and that. But it saved lives. And what did the Father do? Gave them families of their own. I mean, all things can work together for good, just as the Word declares. And I just wanted to share, this, to maybe help someone that may be reading what they consider a dry story or something. Because, even the begats in Numbers that most people say they hate to read tells you a story. Start writing out the names listed and then look up what the names mean, and you'll find out it tells you a story. You know, it's fascinating the way that the Bible is written. It truly has the fingerprint of the Father on it. And, I just want to encourage everyone, to, don't worry about speed reading stuff. I was actually talking to, wow, that was loud. But no, I was actually talking to a sister there earlier, and I actually told her the same thing. It's not the quantity or volume of scripture and that we read. You can read, 40, 50 books in a day, but the thing of it is, are you putting that 40, 50 books into action? Are you walking what you read? I would prefer that you all read, just a few verses a day and actually put them verses into walking it out. And that's what the Father wants, because, we're to be doers of the word, not hearers only or readers only. We're not in a contest to, impress anybody. Wow, man, I read 15 books today. Well, what did you learn? How did those 15 books change your life? That's what it all matters. We're supposed to renew ourselves through the washing of the Word. Every time we read something, it should renew us and change something about us and bring us closer to the Father. Because that's what it's all about, getting closer to Him. If you're just reading to read, you're wasting your time. I mean, the words of the Word of Yahuah is life. It changes us if you allow it to. But you have to receive it and take it in and allow it to change your heart. Unharden your heart. Because the world's an evil place. All the death and destruction and evil and meanness and hatred and bitterness, dealing with it day in and day out, it tends to get in you. And we've got to combat that by putting the word of truth in us, the love of God, the love of the Father, and start treating our neighbors, as ourselves. We've got to walk in that love, but we also have to stand for the truth. And sometimes that means telling people some things that they don't want to hear. Don't yell at them and be hateful and bitter about it, because, if it wasn't for the grace of Yahuah, there go you. There go I. None of us is immune to sin. The enemy wants each and every one of us to fall. Therefore, we have to be on guard daily. We have to armor up. We have to pray. They're using all kinds of technology and that against us. Not only do we have to worry about evil spirits and devils and entities and so on and so forth, we got to worry about the technology that they're using against us. The frequencies, the juice that they want to put in everybody's body. We've got to walk seeking the face of the Father daily. We've got to serve Him in spirit and truth. We've got to live every moment looking to Him. It's our only hope. It's our only weapon besides prayer and worship to be rejuvenated. It's the Word that gives us power over the demons and devils. Plus the blood of Christ, that's in us, flowing through our veins. We're not our own. We're bought with a price. That's why we have to watch what we do, what we say, how we act. You know, we're we are representing the Father. You know, we should act like He acts. We should think how He thinks. We should see things how He sees them. And, you know, yeah, maybe this isn't a big revelation to some people, but, you know, we definitely need to be reminded. We've got to build ourselves up on our most holy faith. Because, I mean, the enemy is really fighting hard to destroy all of us. You know, there's no lack of things to pray for. I dare say a person could literally get on their knees to pray at 6 o'clock in the morning and be there a week or more. And then there would just continue to be more and more and more things that happen that need to be prayed about while you're on your knees praying. You know, the world is speeding up. And, you know, we've got to be on guard now more than ever. You know, evil is begetting evil, which is begetting evil. And we've got to be fighting more than ever, especially for our brothers and our sisters. You know, if you see someone struggling, you know, hey, give them a hand up. You know, if they need help, help them. You know, we've got to do all that we can do. I just felt, you know, like sharing that, you know, because we tend to, you know, crawl in a shell and internalize everything. And we need to, you know, talk to our brothers and our sisters and, you know, as a family unit, you know, especially talking to the Father, yes. But, you know, we're to bear each other's burdens as well. So I pray this helps you. I pray this, you know, gives you a new light on how you look at reading the Word. You know, as you read and learn things, you know, make it a part of your life. You know, we need to become the men and women that the Father called us to be. So I'll leave it at that. I pray everybody's having a good day. Yahuah bless you and keep you all always. If you need me, email me at jtt1777@outlook.com. With that, I'll see you in the next one. As always, I'm praying for you, and I thank you for your prayers as well. Yahuah bless you all.